The Big 12 is going to the Final Four, and Houston is getting us there. This is Locked On Big 12.
You are Locked On Big 12, your daily podcast on the Big 12 Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome into Locked On Big 12. I'm Drake Toll from America's #1 Big 12 podcast, Locked On Big 12. Thank you for making this show your first listen every single day. I'm inside of an MLB press box, which behind me, there's a couple hangers, not much going on. So sorry for looking like I'm recording from a closet. Houston will knock off Tennessee today. Before I jump into the advanced analytics there, the Texas Tech game last night, I did a whole video, a whole preview of how Texas Tech could win, ways they could dominate, and they did. One of the things that would be a setback for Texas Tech is their free throw rate, getting to the line, making free throws. The referees were not very good, but in the end, you miss your free throws, you lose the game. Texas Tech won the game and then snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. So I stand by when I give a prediction and go into advanced analytics and teams follow the pattern that I've laid out for you, that they can win. Texas Tech very well could have won. They should have won, and they didn't because they didn't make their free throws. That doesn't discount what the analytics say pregame, and it shouldn't discount what the analytics say about the Houston and Tennessee game today. And those analytics say that this is going to be a dogfight. Knockdown, drag out. Two defensive teams, and last man standing gets to leave there alive. There are no patty cakes. This isn't the first one to score 120. This could be the first one to score 45 is the team that gets out of there with a victory. Houston favored by 3 according to Las Vegas, and according to Shot Quality, who runs NBA analytics for multiple teams, they have the Cougars winning by 1. This is, as we dive really deep into the offense of Houston, a better Cougars team on that side of the ball than many people give them credit for. Number 13 in the country, LJ Cryer, obviously a massive catalyst for that. Tennessee, 26th defensively. So they're not a top 25 defensive team. Houston being a top 15 offensive team, that bodes well for the Cougars. Number 3 in the country in floor spacing. Number 26 in shot making. The biggest hindrance for Houston today is the same hindrance that Texas Tech had, and that's free throw rate. The Cougars don't go to the line that often. When they do go to the line, they're not exactly nails. They also aren't able to generate open threes very often. They're 200th in the country in open three rate, and Tennessee is pretty good at not allowing open threes. So for Houston, you're going to need to play inside and going to need to play even more physical offensively, leaning into fouls, because Tennessee doesn't send you to the line. Houston doesn't get to the line. And if we look up and Tennessee has 24 free throws and Houston has 9, that's how Texas Tech lost. That was a big piece of why the Red Raiders weren't able to beat Florida. That's look at Houston's offense and what they can do. Now it's time to examine the defense. Number 1 in America in efficiency per shot quality. Tennessee's offense is number 9 in the nation. These are two teams that are elite when we see them in that area of the court. Whenever Houston's on defense, Tennessee's on offense, those two units are impeccable. That's where the magic is going to happen. And part of this, too, comes down to how the officials want to call this game. If they're ticky-tacky, if this is one where Houston's called for any little hand check or any little bump, this is a Tennessee win, right? We're going to have to rely a little bit on the officials to let these two teams, who are both physical, play the game of basketball, especially when Houston's defense is number 1 in America. There are areas, of course, where Tennessee has an advantage, including shot making, free throw rate. Houston's not great at not fouling you. They do tend to foul opposing teams. Tennessee gets fouled at a fairly high rate, makes free throws at a decent rate as well. They space the floor pretty well. There's your breakdown of the offenses, the defenses of Houston and Tennessee. Overall, Houston, the number 4 team in America, according to Shot Quality. Tennessee, number 11. This neutral site game features 33-4 versus 30-7. Houston is 11-26 against the shot quality, against the spread record. Tennessee is 15-22. So you can see that Houston has not performed as well as the analytics usually predict them to. That Might not be the best sign in the world for the Cougars. But if you want another analytics site, we'll go to ESPN's FPI matchup predictor, 67% chance that Houston wins this game. And LJ Cryer will be a big part of that. 15.3 points per game, 91.3% at the free throw line. If Cryer can get to the line, if Juwan Roberts can have a big game down low, this is a Houston win. And look, injuries have plagued everybody. and Houston played a super late game a couple of nights ago, and now they've got to get up and go right back at it for 2:20 p.m. tip-off. That means they got to the arena probably 8 a.m. this morning and started their shoot-around, started their day, got breakfast in. I mean, the wake-up call was fairly early for a team that played into Saturday, having their game Friday night as late as it was, play into Saturday, and then wake up and do it all again on Sunday. That's not something that you want for Houston. That's not something that Houston can change, right? You can't edit that, but it will be a factor in today's game. And hopefully, after a 38-point win against SIUE, a 5-point win against Gonzaga, that 2-point win against Purdue, I mean, as tough as that was, you got an ice bath. Hopefully, you're able to regenerate a little bit and find a way against Tennessee. I do believe Houston defensively can dominate. That's where this game can be won for Houston, is defensively. And I told you Tennessee's defense is not top 25 according to shot quality. And that's good if you're Houston. Give me the Cougars today. They win it by 9. 65-56. Yep, Tennessee's going to score in the 50s. 65-56. Houston knocks off Tennessee. The Big 12 is headed to the Final Four.
The NCAA tournament is here, and so is the Bracket Breakdown.
Locked On Podcast Network and Amazon Fire TV channels are teaming up to deliver NCAA tournament coverage like never before. Watch studio shows featuring former players and Locked On's local experts as they guide you through every upset, buzzer beater, and bracket matchup.
Stream it all for free on Amazon Fire TV channel. Search Bracket Breakdown to see it all for free.
It's your team every day.
Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. March Madness is here, and FanDuel is giving you the chance to get in on the action like never before. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's $200 extra bucks to use on everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderella stories and even who's cutting down those nets. So I've got my eye on Houston, and I'll take Houston -2.5, -3 right now where they sit at FanDuel against Tennessee today. And you can even pick spreads, totals, game props, point score for LJ Cryer. With tournament games happening across the country almost every day, there's always something exciting to bet on. The FanDuel app is simple to use. When I win, I get paid instantly, no waiting around. FanDuel.com. Get in on the college hoops action all tournament long with FanDuel. Visit FanDuel today. All right, Houston. We're all rooting for you, man. It's hard to root against you. Hard to root against Kelvin Sampson. Texas Tech to Baylor to UCF and BYU. We're all rooting for you. Please get the job done. Go to the Final Four. This has been and always will be Locked On. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Dose Grande.